we got a problem here. And it's more than just Alvin streaming Punisher. When life begins to suck, who's reporting it? Luckily, you got two friends who you won't forget. Coming live, Alvin and Friend on survival. Laughing non-stop, case drops on a cycle. Louder than intrusive thoughts off an iPhone. How they make the world seem bright with the lights off? AFs, it might as well stay up. Lies being told like that dinosaur BS. Magnifying glass to the ground if they don't see us. Having the time, roasting your favorite pizza. Bougie ain't an option, it's the wage. Take you to the grave, add moving to the place. You already know when they take the case. Laugh the pain away, it's affirmative murder.
Any souls. Hello and welcome to another Tales from the Hood. Fran, what's going on, man?
Not much, man. What's going on?
Nothing at all. I want to make a quick announcement. We alluded to it on last Tales from the Hood, then we got into it on the regular episodes. We are doing our first live show. Long overdue, long overdue. It is time to get this man in front of an audience, talking to people so people can feel that Fran energy, that magnetic Fran energy. Fran, I want to let you know, along with people that are listening, the show is a third of the way sold out. So if you want to come on January 15th, 2024 at Zen West, the Zen West, might have mentioned it before, very crucial part of my early teens, not early teens. I was legal when I was drinking there. So we're not even going to get into that. I was 21 always. I was always 21 every time I went to Zen West, a wonderful roadside canteen.
Hey, look,
I was always of age.
You always like to come on here and be like, "Hey, man, whenever you guys indulge in some criminal activity, I kind of like fake a stomachache and leave." This is my time. This is my turn to go. Like, hey, man, when I felt like y'all was doing illegal things, I went. I don't want to join tonight.
I don't know what illegal things you're referring to.
And that's what you guys, and that's what you guys were indulged with. And I was like, you know what? I'm a responsible early adult. I'm not yet at legal age. So you know what? I'm not.
Well, that is true. Fran was not,
yes.
And I was. But anyway, Zen West Roadside Canteen in Baltimore, Maryland, we are doing our first live show. A third of the tickets are sold. So that is good for us to know that we will not be performing in an empty room. Give it up to us one time for selling some tickets. It is still early. The early bird special prices are available until Christmas, and then it will go up a little bit into regular general admission ticket prices. So if you want to get those tickets early as an early Christmas present to yourself, hop on it. We would love to see you come to our town and have a fun show. Fran, what are your thoughts on your first live performance, man?
What are my thoughts on it?
Yeah, like how are you prepping? What are you trying to get mentally? You're just gonna go and wing it? Like how are you feeling? Like,
my anxiety is through the roof.
Okay.
Absolutely. I don't know how am I supposed to prepare for something I've never done. So I mean, like, we'll see. I hope not to make an ass out of myself, but it should be fun though.
Everybody's there to see you, so it's a built-in comfort. It's not like going up and doing stand-up in front of a bunch of people that are like, I'm just here to see funny.
Well, that's pressure. I don't know.
Well, it's like, they're just here to see you.
And that's pressure. What if people come to see you and you don't perform?
What if people come to see their idea of you and you don't meet that expectation?
There you go.
Damn. Now I'm nervous.
I'm gonna take.
Should we cancel the show or what's up?
The gif of LeBron James when he just walks out of the press
conference? That's how you're gonna do it.
If I'm gonna just grab my bag and my drink and I'm like, deuces.
You're like, what's up? What's up, y'all? It's Fran. I hit the postman sound and nobody laughs. You're like, fuck this.
I'm gonna leave.
Fuck this.
I catch y'all the next episode on Thursday.
You guys handle the rest of the show. I'm out.
I'm out.
But anyway, Tales from the Hood, affirmativemurder@gmail.com. Please get those emails in. I'm so thankful to everybody who sent some emails in. I'm going to I don't want to be rude because I appreciate people's audio submissions. But we recently got a slew of audio submissions from people. I got one that was like 30 minutes long. I got another one that's like 20 minutes long. It just is not, I can't. We can't sit here. You have to start a podcast. I hope that, I'm sure it was cathartic to get it out. I hope that, I really do. I can't play 20 minutes of audio from somebody. I just can't. We can't sit here and then if me and Fran, me, not Fran, me, I'm very guilty of this. I don't like to let anybody talk. So now you're talking for 20 minutes. I'm jumping in, pausing it. Now you're 20-minute audio.
And I'm sitting here. I don't know when to jump. I don't know when to talk. Because if you're talking for 20 minutes and he's talking, I'm sitting here like a sitting duck, and I'm just like, I don't know.
And Fran spaces out. Now
and
he didn't even hear the
and
story.
now I'm zoned out thinking about sports and all kinds of stuff. Oh man, it's a mess.
So it'd just be 30 minutes of you talking in your car or at work or wherever you are doing your thing. So like I'm asking people, if you will send in an audio submission, I would love that. I love them. Please keep them under 5 minutes. Please. Realistically. And I encourage you, listen, Rode is a great audio company. Go get you some Rode equipment. And if you have 30 minutes on your mind, go start a podcast. I'm sure it'll be fantastic, but you cannot send us in 30-minute audio. What do you want us to do? It's only supposed to be like 30 minutes. It's a mini-sode. So if yours is 30, how long is the rest of the show going to be when we go to read the emails too? Now we're talking about 2 hours.
Yeah.
So just again, affirmativemurder@gmail.com. Please get your audio submissions in. Anybody who sent in, if you
Appreciate
sent in
the effort, though.
we appreciate the effort so much and you taking the time. But if you sent a 20-minute one in or a 30-minute one in, send another one in. Try to consolidate it. If you can't consolidate it, maybe how about 10? How about we split the difference? I meet you in the middle. How about 10 minutes? That way maybe I can edit it a little bit. We can get it down to like 8 minutes.
Yeah, we just want the meat. We don't want the meat and the potatoes. Just the meat.
Yo.
just the meat. What? Pause. What?
But let's get into our first email from somebody that it says, you asked for Halloween stories, and we did. We asked for, Cam and Mace have started a real. It is what it is. They brought it back, man. Don't blame us. So anyway, this email reads. It says, "You asked for Halloween stories. I'm Linda. You can use my name. I'm a 50-year-old Japanese lady in a town smack dab in between San Diego and Los Angeles.
Okay.
When I was 17, I took my niece and nephew trick-or-treating. My sister insisted I didn't take them to our old neighborhood. She said it was too dangerous and to take them to the other side of town, so we're safe. We hadn't been to many houses yet, and all of a sudden, a car with loud teens screamed past us. They come back, and I feel something hit my face. I thought it was a rock. I look down, and there's blood all over my homemade clown costume. My 10-year-old nephew tries to pick me up and put me down. Fool, I'm fine. But we went back to the house we started at. The lady I would babysit for in this good neighborhood, that's the house they started at. Mm-hmm. So they went to a good neighborhood and somebody hit her in the face with something. The police came. I was shot in the face with a pellet gun.
Wow.
I was just glad it didn't hit the kids in the eye. My mom had to pay $200 at urgent care to have it removed so I wouldn't set off metal detectors. Damn, it went deep in her face.
Wow.
Lodged in there. And we learned it was safer to trick or treat in the poor neighborhood because they knew us. And no one got hurt over there. Thank you. We love you. Thank you very much to Linda. That was a great one. Short, sweet, but like has a twist or like a shocking moment. That was a very concise email. Give it up to Linda one time.
Yeah.
You just get shot in the face? You get blicked?
I think I'm going to jail, man. I'm going to jail, man. I'm sorry. Do not let me catch y'all again, whatever. Oh,
yeah, don't let me like get a good visual of your car.
Oh, it's a wrap.
I want the 200 bag. My kids get licks because you shot at the whole family.
Yeah,
it could have hit any of us. No, that's a forever beef.
Like we still have an issue, but you got lucky that it didn't hit the kids and hit me. Yeah, for sure.
Somebody trying to be dumb and play around and you blind a kid.
Yeah,
don't go around shooting BBs at people in the dark. That's crazy.
That's wild, man. Out of a car? That's a
drive-by
charge, right?
Yeah, that's gotta be. Even BB or not, doing a drive-by shooting has to be like a specific charge.
It's crazy.
Like, oh, what? It's mischief night. You're supposed to throw an egg at somebody.
Toilet paper.
Pulling up and pulling out like the shotgun, like from Boys in the Hood, and shooting somebody with a BB gun.
What happened to you? Supposed to TP people's houses?
Yeah, man. Like, take a parking cone and go put it on somebody's lawn. Something silly. Affirmative Murder is brought to you by Greenlight. I'm online a lot, and I feel like I'm always running across different parenting techniques for teaching kids the responsibilities of money. Whether it's chore bucks, inaccessible piggy banks, or even those magic wallets where you flip it one way and the dollar's there, you flip it the other way, the dollar's gone. That encourages kids to put money into something. But if you're looking to raise kids that are financially responsible, I have a life-saving recommendation that you need to check out. Greenlight. Greenlight is a debit card and money app made for families. It gives kids and teens easy and fun ways to gain financial literacy while giving parents peace of mind. The app includes a chores feature where you can set up recurring one-time chores customized to your family's needs and reward kids for a job well done. Fran and I are currently in the process of turning his kids into financial wizards who also know the value of a dollar. The app also comes with games that teach kids money skills in a fun and memorable way. So if you've got young kids and those birthday cards are starting to thicken up with that cash money, it might be time for you to sign up for Greenlight. So why not do it today and get your first month free when you go to greenlight.com/AMP. That's right, greenlight.com/A. M is in money, 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 money. P to try Greenlight for free. All right, happy and responsible spending. Affirmative Murder is brought to you by Factor. The holiday season is a beautiful time, but very chaotic. And if you're looking for nutritious, convenient meals to keep that energy at its peak for all the stressful running around that is in your very near future, then you should try Factor, America's #1 ready-to-eat meal delivery service. Factor can help you fuel up fast for breakfast, lunch, and dinner with chef-prepared, dietitian-approved, ready-to-eat meals delivered straight to your door. You're going to save time, you're going to eat well, and you're going to stay on track with all your healthy lifestyle choices while also taking care of your holiday to-do list. Skip the stress of meal prepping over the holidays with Factor. Choose from over 35 weekly flavor-packed, fresh, never-frozen meals that support a healthy lifestyle and meet your meal preferences. All delivered right to your door and ready to eat in 2 minutes. This is convenience and deliciousness you just don't want to miss. So head over to factormeals.com/AMP50 and use the promo code AMP50 to get 50% off. Again, that's factormeals.com/AMP50. And that promo code is AMP50. Use it and get 50% off. One last time, that's Factor, America's #1 ready-to-eat meal delivery service. All right, here we go. We got another one. This one I'm really interested in based on the title alone. It says TFTH first racist encounter. Also, you can use my name. Okay. Right out of the gate. Love that. You've drawn me in. You've given me consent. And I love both of those things. So here we go. Hey, Alvin and Fran. My name is Mariah. I'm not that good at introductions, so I will jump right into the story. That's great. I love that. You're nailing this so far, Mariah. This is the story of my first racist encounter. When I was about 7 years old, my family and I donated some bags of clothes to a donation box in the parking lot of our local grocery store. While putting the clothes in the donation box, a car drives by, and a white woman rolls down her window and screams, "You N-words are always stealing." And here's the crux of racism, right?
It hurts, but how do you not laugh though, man? It's just
because you got to think of the scenario, right? Because no, this is I'm gonna tell you why I'm laughing, and I want you to tell me why you're laughing. All right, okay. So why I'm laughing is the hilariousness of racism, right? Is this family, Mariah, her mom probably woke her up early, like, "Hey, listen, I know you got some extra clothes in here. We're gonna go do a good deed for some people today." And you're like, "Oh, come on, Mom, I don't feel like it. I'm tired." No. This is a good deed. We're gonna go do something nice for you. So you wake you up. You guys are cleaning the house all morning, loading the car up. You go and you're going to do this nice deed, and somebody rides by, not minding their business, and tells you that you're stealing clothes from a box when you're just in the middle of doing a good deed. Yeah. So that is why I'm laughing. Like the idea that you wake up to do something nice for somebody you don't know, you never see them wear your clothes, and in the middle of that, you get drive-by racism. Yeah. Now, why are you laughing? Just the shockingness of the yelling?
I'm laughing because how racist people jump to conclusions and assume that I'm stealing clothes
from a box in a parking lot.
Yeah, it's just like if I like my keys in the car and I'm trying to use a hanger to get them out, and then somebody ride past and go,
"You're breaking into
break into why you N-words always stealing and breaking in the car." I like my keys into my car. What do you?
This is my car,
and because I'm black and I'm using a hanger to jam into this door to unlock it. I'm stealing.
These are my clothes. I bought these clothes and now I'm giving them away to somebody. Yeah. You N-words are always stealing clothes from boxes and parking lots. Typical. I've seen it 50 times this week alone. Here you are, another one again. As opposed to it's crazy that it went so race specific. You could just be a clothes thief. It's like she had that lady in that car.
What is this
was
for,
itching.
What is the thing for though?
What?
It's to donate clothes, right?
It's a Salvation Army.
I know maybe you're not supposed to but what if I need clothes? What if I need clothes?
They're supposed to dump the box, take them to the church or whatever, and then you go to the church to get them. You're not supposed to climb in the...
Okay, what if those people need clothes, though?
Well, that's the point. Also, that's the point. Also, is these are donated clothes, so if somebody is taking them, they probably need them.
Yeah, I know that's
so the idea of being mad at... But like if it like in her scenario, this is not a Kohl's. Yeah. We're not at Nordstrom. Yeah. Yeah. This isn't Saks Fifth Avenue. I'm at a box in a parking lot. If I am taking these clothes, it's because somebody put them in there to be taken.
Right.
Why are you so mad?
Yes.
And that's where the hilariousness of racism is, because you're crazy. Because that is like, it's no other way to, you're crazy. So that's what makes it funny in a dark way, where it's like, you just called me the N-word because I'm taking clothes that nobody wants out of a box in a parking lot?
Drive-by, though.
Why are you so mad?
It's insanity.
Nah, getting the...
You nigger, you N-words always stealing clothes. Fades away as he goes down the street.
Letting the N fly out of the car while you got one hand on the steering wheel. Fa. Just blasting N's in a family trying to donate some clothes. You had an experience like that.
For sure.
I've never had an experience like that specifically, but I've had some encounters where it's the first thing is like, you almost kind of like go numb because it's just shock.
Yeah.
And then your brain starts to process, and that's when you get angry.
Yeah.
So it's not even like angry right out of the gate. So I could imagine that family being like, and I'm sure if I keep reading, it'll say it how they felt. But we're talking, and I want you to tell your experience and how it felt for you.
Oh, it's more.
But I would imagine.
Oh, my bad. I didn't know.
Yeah, there's more story.
Okay.
No, that was crazy. That's crazy. That was a crazy thing to jump to. Like that was. So we had it took some pause. But how did it feel for you? Like, was it immediate anger, or was it like confusion? Like, what was the initial feeling before it ruined your day?
It's funny because since we actually went there, I wanted to ask you: have you I know you said you haven't had that encounter yet. Have you had that encounter? You just don't know? No,
nobody's ever yelled like racial slur at me.
Okay, gotcha.
Angry. Okay. It's always been covert. It's never been overt.
Gotcha. Yeah.
It's always been like, you know who you look like, or I know you like to eat I know you want some of this.
I mean, except for the guy that thought you was like not supposed to be in the neighborhood. That was close.
That happened, yes, but he didn't go. You N-word, get out of here. Yeah. Like it wasn't that.
You could trash somewhere else. Yeah.
That was still that was still kind of covert, because he wasn't minding his business like this lady, but he wasn't overtly telling me. If I was a shaggy-haired white college kid, he would not have stopped me and asked me if I was supposed to be in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
So, but yeah.
Yeah.
But yours was overt.
Yeah. For me, it was like, again, I was at work, and at the moment, because like this was the first time it ever happened to me, and like me and my dad, it's because like growing up, me and my dad never had this conversation. Even if he could have taught me, he wouldn't have brought it up, because it's kind of one of those things was like, he probably just didn't want to talk about it, or didn't want me to have that in the back of my head that this can happen. Mm-hmm. So when it happened, I was like, because they did it twice. So like the first time I was like, okay. The second time they did it again, I was like, all right. But at the moment, it was just like,
same scenario, right? It was like a drive-by.
It was a drive-by. Yeah, it was just like, at the moment, I was just like, that's crazy. But then like after I got home, it was just like, that shit is real, because I've never had anything like that ever happen to me. You hear stories and stuff like that, but then like when it actually happens to you personally, you kind of, like you said, you kind of go in shock, and then you kind of get angry after the fact. It's
a slow burn.
Right, it's a slow burn, because like the only thing I could think of is like, if that car comes back over here, I'm gonna remember, and it's gonna be an issue. Mm-hmm. Because I work around here, it's gonna be an issue. So like I've never seen them again after that.
Yeah, that's a crazy one, man. Like again, it's never been that overt in my experience. So, but I would imagine, because even in the covert scenarios I've been in, how you're describing it, if it feels like this roller coaster of emotions, because the first is like the audacity, the shock, then when you start to really be like, and this motherfucker, they think I'm a bitch. Now because like did I not do anything? Like I let them. You start to. It's this psychological warfare on yourself, where you start to feel like you didn't defend yourself. Yeah,
because you kind of go like, they would have never done that if they were walking.
In my face, yes.
If they wasn't in that car, they would have never done that. And it's anger, and it could. But then but by it never happened to me, you go like, oh, racism. That shit is a real thing. Like you hear about it until it happens to you, and you can call it the N-word, and you go like, oh no, this shit is real.
Especially when it's blatant.
For sure.
Because again, everything else that we've talked about on this podcast, somebody grabbing their purse, somebody walking across the street, these things, you can't. I wouldn't go up to them and go, you are being racist right now. Why are you being racist?
Yeah.
But when somebody is blatantly, hey, you're not allowed in the store. Why? Because you're black. Like if that ever happens to somebody, you go, oh wow, no, this racism shit is super real. Yeah. Like it's super real. Yeah. Everything else has been Was that this? Is that because I was black? Is that why they moved us to this table at the restaurant? But when it's like in your face like that, you go, wow, it is not, things change, but they stay the same. That's the thought you have in your mind where you go, I felt like we were so far. And then you get this realization of like, well, not that far, not as far as you might think.
Yeah. Like, so, even if they wasn't racist, they could have just been like, it was just a fun thing to do. To get under a person's skin, yeah. Right. They could have been like, oh, I'm not racist. I just thought it was fun. That's crazy. That's crazy. Don't know how much damage. Don't know how much damage and mental shit that can put a person through. Like, it's just, that's crazy, man. Like, that one word does so much damage. And people kind of go like, we need to kind of move past. Because there's people that go like, it shouldn't hurt us as much as it does, that word. But it's just like, it cuts so deep. And there's so much history behind that word and everything else. It's like, how can you just go like, well, we say it all the time.
Yeah, so take the power from it.
Yeah, it's like,
especially when somebody calls it to you in the way that it was meant to be used. Exactly. Like, we've taken it and done whatever to it. Yeah. You know, I still have my thoughts about,
for sure,
because young white kids buy concert tickets, right?
Right.
So when Boosie goes on stage, when Travis Scott goes on stage, there's predominantly white kids screaming the N-word at this black man on the stage.
Yeah.
And I have my thoughts about it, but it is what it is. Like, that's how they make their money. Yeah. You can't go, hey, man, every 80% white people in here, don't say this word. Like, you can't control that. But when somebody comes up to you and uses it in a derogatory manner, how am I supposed to go, now I know that you're trying to insult me. I know that's why you're saying it to me, is to make me upset. But you know something? I'm not going to even give you the satisfaction. You're asking me to be this malevolent Malcolm X, Martin Luther King figure when I'm just at the Lidl, bro. I'm just at the Lidl. I'm trying to get some apples, some Fuji apples, and enjoy my morning, and somebody's coming and throwing racism in my face, and you want me to take the high road.
No, you deserve an ass whooping, period.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you can't expect me to take the high road when I'm just living my black ass life, and somebody's coming and trying to bring racism to me, and they're saying it to me to incite that out of me. They want to make me feel lower than myself. I can't just I can't let that ride. I'm sorry. So luckily I have not faced that situation, and you never faced that situation face to face, because I know you have hands and they work. Yeah. But anyway, so we're going to get back to Mariah's story. So Mariah, the UN words are always stealing thing happens. She goes, I want to clarify that she said the actual word, not my censored version. She then speeds off and then heads into a nearby Burger King drive-thru. That's
bold.
That's a good day for her. She's like, I got to call somebody up.
I'm about to get this triple, what is that called? The quadruple burger? Whopper?
The quadruple, the BK, the big BK,
or
the long chicken sub sandwich.
Yeah.
On the sesame seed sub. It's gonna taste.
What a day.
This sandwich is gonna taste deracist. So my mother, a woman who stands on big business, jumps into the car and follows the woman into the drive-thru. My mom gets out of the car, walks over to the woman's passenger side window, taps on the window. She smiles and indicates for the woman to roll down her window. And reluctantly, the woman does. My mom asks,
what'd you say?
What was that you just called my children and me over there?
Yeah, say it in my face.
The lady stutters, saying, well, I just thought y'all were...
Nah.
But was cut off by my mom jumping fist first into her passenger window and popping her in the mouth. My mom wore that lady out.
Look, I'm not an advocate for all violence.
I'm a pacifist, Fran. But, I'm a pacifist.
Round of applause. Round of applause for mom. I don't agree.
Punch a Nazi, bro. Punch a Nazi, bro. You gonna call my kids that?
No. Stand on that.
She stood on big business. Yeah. You gonna call my kids that? And then you think you just gonna go get a Whopper Jr.?
Yeah.
You think you can just you think you don't got to get a mile away from the scene after you do something like that? That's a lot of gall.
Yeah, for sure.
To think that you can go and do that to a woman and her kids and then go get some BK chicken fries?
Yeah.
No, I'm sorry. No. So yeah, you're right, friend. We don't support and we don't encourage violence, but on this day, I would have chose violence as well.
Yeah. Got a Whopper crown on her head and shit.
Oh, she's big into Burger King.
Yeah.
She loves the king. She loves the king more than anything. Yeah. The only thing second is racism.
Racism, yeah.
It's Whopper Juniors, then racism. After her fist connected a few times with the lady's face, my mom told the woman her full name and number just in case she wanted to call the police to tell them the story of why she has a golf ball-sized knot on her forehead. Then we drove off and continued with our day. The woman did apologize after, stating that she thought we were taking clothes out of the box. That's not a good excuse for, that's crazy. And the police were never called. Lastly, I would also like to point out that there was a black child in the back of the woman's car. Wow. Presumably her kid, when she decided to yell racist slurs towards my family, which is quite disheartening. I agree. That's the saddest part of the story. It's been all funny and big business and all that type of stuff, but to know that there was a black child in the backseat of this woman's car that she was probably going to go get some Burger King for as well, it's sad, Sorry if the story is too lengthy. We made it lengthy. It's not lengthy at all. I tried my best to keep it brief. I hope it met the criteria for Tales from the Hood, and I just want to say thank you for helping me get through the last 4 years of undergrad. Ooh. Congratulations to you. Go get that degree so you can also stand on big business. Y'all are so amazing. Keep up the good work. Thank you so much to Mariah. That was a very sweet and very real email. That we really appreciate you sending that one in. Let's do one more, huh? It says, hello, feel free to use my name. Before I even get into it, again, affirmativemurder@gmail.com. We would love to hear from you guys. Get those emails in. We want to hear the wildest stories from your neighborhood, from your local fast food restaurant, from wherever, a trip abroad, Halloween, Hanukkah, Christmas, Thanksgiving, birthday stories, a crazy birthday night. We're into those too. So just any kind of crazy story that you have, Tales from the Hood, Affirmative Murder.
Advice.
Or you want some advice from Fran. You can always wrap in whatever your story is with, hey, Fran, what are your thoughts? How would you handle this? Yeah. Feel free to do that. Or just go straight up advice from Fran. Ask Fran. Affirmativemurder@gmail.com. We would love to hear from you guys. And let's get into our last email before we take off. Once again, also, I'm sorry to keep hitting you guys with stuff, but let me just say one more thing. January 15th, 2024, we are doing a live show. The tickets are a third of the way sold. We are just over 30 days left still. I think we're about 32 days left until the show. We are very excited to be doing this show with the wonderful and amazing story-having Madison McGee from Ice Cold Case. We are teaming up, joining forces for a one-night event. It will be a super fun time. The tickets are on sale right now, on sale from now until the day of the show, but the tickets will increase marginally as it gets closer to the day, obviously. This is the cheapest you can get the tickets is right now. They're a third of the way sold. If you would like a ticket, please, the link is in our Instagram bio, and the link will also be in each show note going forward. We'll make sure we put it in the show descriptions going forward. You can click that link and buy your tickets if you would like to join us in Baltimore for our first live show. We're super excited. Fran, who knows what he'll be doing? Maybe he'll be doing some close-up magic. We don't know. We don't know what Fran's going to be doing. The possibilities are endless. All right, Fran, let's get into our last email and get up out of here. So again, this email is from Kara. It says, feel free to use my name. I grew up in the 80s and 90s in a rural Wisconsin town. This was very much a time when kids were outside all day in the summer, rarely checking them with parents. I was 12 in 1994, and this summer day was no different than any other. I decided to go for a bike ride down the road, something I had done 100 times before, and it never bothered my mom. But that day, her intuition kicked in, and she decided to watch me from across a field. She noticed that a van slowed down behind me. I was oblivious and ran into the field calling my name. I was so embarrassed, but turned around and went home, while the van continued on its way. 2 days later, a girl's bike was found on the side of a road.
Wait,
about a mile.
She said she ran to the field and someone was calling her name?
So her mom was outside watching while she was riding her bike on this day, but usually she just rides her bike. But this day, her mom was like across a field or across the street in a field watching her ride her bike, and then ran towards her to come get her, screaming her name, like, come on, get in the house.
Gotcha. Okay, gotcha.
2 days later, a girl's bike was found on the side of a road about a mile from where I was riding, and a 12-year-old girl was missing. Our house was in the search area, and I remember police searching through our yard and shed to see if they could find her. The police were particularly interested in our yard, as they found a name scratched into our mailbox. My name is Kara. Kara. My name is Kara, and the missing girl was Cora. However, my name is commonly misspelled with a C. Her name is spelled Kara.
Yeah.
My name is commonly misspelled with a C. We are assuming someone had wrote my name there, but misspelled it. And because they are so close, it looked like it could have been her name. 5 days after she went missing, her body was found a few counties away.
Wow.
Eventually, a man, David Spanbauer, was arrested for the rape and murder of Cora Jones. He had previously spent 30 years in prison for rape and had been paroled in 1991. When convicted with Cora's murder, he also confessed to the murder of 2 others.
Damn.
One, a 10-year-old girl he abducted from a rural road while she was riding her bike in 1992, and a 21-year-old woman he killed while trying to burglarize her home. He was sentenced to 3 life sentences plus 405 years. He died in prison in 2002. I will never know if he was in the van behind me that day, but I am so glad my mom followed her gut and called me in that day. Wow.
Yeah.
You know, and again, she'll never know for sure, but in the same area, just a little bit down the road, a little girl went missing, and she was riding her bike like you were riding your bike.
Yeah.
So you just never know how close you are with some bad stuff. Just the way you brush things, go left when you could have gone right. Man, that's really crazy, man. Shout out to Cara. That was a wild email with some sad turn of events, but you are fortunate that you are okay, and that's what we can take from it. You know, just keep an eye on your kids, keep an eye on your family, keep your family close. We don't live, you know. Friend, let me ask you this before we get out of here. Do you think we ever lived in this world that people talk about, the 80s and 90s, or do you think it was just as dangerous then, but we didn't have access to the internet to hear all the stories going on?
I said that before.
Do you think those people were delusional, or do you think it was just it really was a different time?
I think it's a combination of both. I think that this stuff was always going on, and I said this before, that stuff like this always happens. It's been happening, but
yeah,
we just didn't have phones where like the news was in the palm of our hand 24/7 all the time, and there were times. Well, it's hard to speak on it because we're males, we're boys, so it's like it's just different for us to go out, be out all day, say mom, dad, all right, I'll see you later, and be out 10, 12 hours, and not hear from your parents.
Any parent,
your parents, but like for a girl and them being by themselves, and that being, sorry to say, and it sucks to say this because I have a daughter too, but that's opportunities for those sick people out there that's looking for opportunities like that to kind of jump on, you know, a child that's by themselves riding their bike. This stuff has always been going on. Do the 80s, 90s, was it different? Yes, but I just think that the times were different, but the stuff was still happening. It was always happening. Now we just seeing it so often. It's on our computer. Open up your computer, the news pops up. You turn on your phone, Twitter, TV. It's everywhere. So it seems like it's happening more than it was, 20, 30 years ago, 40 years ago.
Now, as a parent, let me ask you this, because now we're talking about 80s and 90s parents being delusional and having a false sense of security. Do you think there is a middle ground? Do you think that parents today are overly cautious, or do you think there's no such thing as overly cautious when it comes to kids? Or do you think there is a middle ground of like, go outside, have your phone on you, come back when the streetlights come on, but just check in? Do you think there's a middle ground of like, go outside for 10 hours and don't leave the front of the house?
I think it depends on how old the child is and the people they're hanging around with. Their friends, are they immediate neighbors of yours? Or they live in the same street? Sophie's 4. And it's like when she's outside, we're outside. Like we don't, or we right by the window. There's never, I don't think it's being overly protective, being at the door watching them, because you just don't. You can go to the bathroom and anything can happen within that 2 to 3 minutes. I'm just not willing to risk that. Right. So it's like if I'm going to the bathroom, I say, Steph, hey, look, I'm going to the bathroom.
Switch.
It's just. Is the times different? Yes, but it's just like I don't think there's a such thing as being overly protective of your kids.
I tend to agree with that. I think it's a child. They're vulnerable. They don't know what they're doing. Yeah. Like there's no such thing as overbearing when you talk about putting your kid out into the world.
Yeah.
I think people can be overbearing as far as, what kids eat and what they consume, and all. You can be overbearing. That's the kind of toys they play with. Sometimes parents do a little too much. Right. But when you talk about, hey, go outside and ride your bike, being able to go, man, I mean, obviously we were like 12, 13, 14 years old. But the freedom that I had, even at like 9.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
My mom was at work to just be like, from 3, 2:30, 2:45, 3 o'clock out of school to like 6 o'clock. I could do whatever I wanted to do. Luckily, I was such a bitch as a kid. Like I didn't want to do anything. But if I met some kids that were like, well, yo, we steal bikes and we take the tires off this bike and put them on this bike and we spray paint the base and we that's what we do.
Right.
That could have been the life that led me down a wrong path. But I was such a bitch that I'm like, now, am I free to do whatever I want? Yeah. But I don't want to do bad stuff and get in trouble. So that was luckily that I was me.
My mom used to work from like 3. So as I was getting out of school, my mom was going to work. She didn't get off till 11, right? So like I had my older brother there at the time, but like he was still young and kind of doing his own thing. So I was just out doing all kinds of crazy shit. just out, and it's just like, and there's never was somebody like my brother. He cared, but it was like, man, just leave me alone. I'm trying to be a rapper and hang with my friends. I'm just doing, and I just be like, all right, I just be outside all
if you need me to beat up somebody who did something to you, come get me for that.
Other than that, leave me the hell alone. And it's just like, you hungry? I'll make a sandwich, bologna sandwich, whatever we had. And it was just like, man, those times we just used to be out all goddamn day long and just fucking around, man. Now you just I don't know what the kids are doing now. Kids are smoking. It's like there's no way in hell I was smoking weed at like that age. It's insane. That's me being out all the time now at work. It's crazy what I see kids do at such a young age. It's nuts.
Kids hitting the jewel at like 12.
It's crazy.
You guys puffing the jewel at 12.
We was riding bikes. Bikes. Oh man.
Riding bikes outside,
playing
having a good time,
but having little football games, basketball games. Yeah, man.
I think about those things.
Those times, that's a different time now. I can agree with that.
Good times, fun stuff. That stuff should come back.
Yes.
Neighborhoods, all the kids knowing each other. Because in that situation, like at your house, like when we were kids, when I would come to your house, the field that all the kids played at was in the neighborhood. So it's like if the parents really wanted to, they could drive past when they're coming home from work or going to the store. Like the kids were around. They weren't like miles away from home getting in Ubers or whatever. Yeah. Like it still was like a neighborhood feel.
Yeah.
But when you look back on it as an adult, you know, you think when you go back how far back, 8, 7, where you know, because 14, 13, you got a little bit more, especially a bunch of boys.
Right.
Still dangerous, less likely to be kidnapped and things like that. But when you look back and just reflect on the things that you thought were normal and okay, and even you laugh about, you still, when you think about how you want to raise your kids, you go, I wouldn't want to do it that way. No. So I don't think there's any such thing as overbearing when it comes to protecting a child. But I do, like there was a TikTok I saw about, and I think we all, maybe every kid, but I feel like sometimes black people, we all live the same life. Yeah. The amount of things that we relate to. And I saw one of those videos of like a parent doing homework with their kid and being like, if Kevin had 3 carrots
with the puppet?
And he gave the carrots.
With the puppet?
It was a man and a kid, but it was like 2 men, but the man was pretending to be the kid, and they're like, I don't know, 7. Like you're just like, that's just, you laugh about it because you go, been there, but like you should have never been, because that's like not okay. I would never want to make education a stressful, emotional thing for my child.
What?
And I know it's frustrating to try to teach your kids something, but it's like, that's just, when I see it, I laugh because I'm like, I live that, but it makes me think about breaking the cycle. That's the only thing I think about when I see it.
But it's super realistic because like, I'll do it now. I'm not doing it to that extent where I'm yelling, but I go like, how was this? Because you're an adult. So it's like,
you're like, just get it.
Yeah, it's like you can't kind of relate to a kid's brain where it's just like,
like you just got here.
Easy. Why can't you understand that? And that makes you upset, but you got to remember, like, oh, this is a child who's like,
you just got here. You never. That's the part. That's the part. Like that's the switch you always got to flip in your head of like, they ain't never seen 3.
Right.
They never seen 7. Yeah. They don't even. 7 is like, they just are kind of understanding what 7 is, and now you're like, well, you take 7 and you split it, and now it's 4. You're like, that's easy.
Yeah.
3 plus 3 is 6, but it's like 2 3s and a what's the T? It's like, but you gotta always keep that in mind. Like they never seen this stuff before. It's their first time seeing all of this stuff, and I feel like I was the child of a young mom. The pressures of that, the financial pressures, she might not have been able to have the nurturing tone all the time because it's like It's 8:30. You didn't tell me you had homework because already I'm like, I didn't want to do it. So
I go through the same. Like, you've been playing all day. You mean your homework is due tomorrow? It's like, and it's something you can't. It's always gonna be that way, bro. It's always. And it's like Sophie does well in school. She passed her test, but you still go like 5 fingers is 5 fingers. This never changes. This is always 10. This is always 5. It's like, how do you not understand? This is always 5. There's never anything else. It's always 5. How do you not get that? And it's like, you kind of go to like, all right, these are kids.
Yeah.
Take it easy. But like I think you're just gonna do that as a parent. I think that's just natural.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
But again, thank you to everybody who sent some emails in today. Again, if you would like to send an audio submission, then I ask. Fran and I both ask. But keep it under 6 minutes. Yeah. Keep it under 6 minutes. Let's keep it tight. Get right. What did you say, Fran, earlier? What was that thing you said? Get right. We want the meat. Or something, whatever. Something to them. Whatever you.
We don't want the potatoes. We don't want the
whatever
meat
you.
And the potatoes. We just want the meat.
Yeah. We just that's Fran just wants the meat, So affirmativemurder@gmail.com. Please get them in. We would love to hear from you guys. Literally hear from you guys, but also writing. People have been sending in some great, concise emails, like all the people that submitted today. Thank you guys for the amazing submissions. Again, tickets are on sale right now. We would love to see you at the live show. But until then, we'll see you guys Thursday. Be safe, be happy, be merry.
Deuces.